Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Well, you could,
Tell a story. Tell about your life.
you could tell about, well, let me see, when were you born, first of all?
1915.
What day?
That's September the 1st.
Okay. Did you know your grandpas?
Let him be on his own, Father.
He had a
It's a roll
beard,
action.
and I was scared to death of him.
He had a beard and you were scared to death. What's that? Your dad's father or your mom's father?
My mom's father.
Oh, just a second. Okay, you knew your dad's grandpa?
No,
Oh.
he was dead before I was born.
It was your mom's grandpa that was so scary, huh?
Grandpa McDanel died
Bye.
in 1904, I think.
What about,
This was Grandpa Boyer.
oh,
And when I got through high school, I started in a coal mine. And after, I worked there a couple of years. It fell in, and then me and Guy Miller, my brother-in-law, opened it up. Grandpa financed me to open it up. He loaned me the money. And she's in her way, is she?
nah, he's all right. He's okay.
We run it for about 3 years, and then the mine inspector closed it up. And I started farming.
Where'd you start farming at?
On my dad's place. 50-50.
Ask Dad.
Where was that at?
But up at the lake, on the east side of the lake, all that land on the east side of the lake was,
Lake Rathbun.
our farm. Clear down below that bridge, there's an overhead bridge, and there are houses in there now. But there wasn't anything in it there at all. Wasn't no houses at all. They are now.
Where the house was at, where Grandma's house was at, that's still above the water, right?
Yeah.
But they got rid of Grandma and Grandpa's house.
That bend up there, it was where the house sat. There's a bend in the road up there. And the house was sitting up there, and then they burnt the house down.
Huh. So you went to school there too?
I went to school over on the Boyer Ridge. The ridge is over in Center Lake. There's an island over there, and that's where the schoolhouse was.
Huh.
Across the part of the lake, Buck Creek now. We wanted to cross over on the other ridge, a half a mile to the schoolhouse.
Well, that was only a mile away, right?
Yeah.
You had a lot of younger brothers and sisters.
just Jack and Clara over at Bloomfield.
Oh.
That's only two younger ones. I had older ones. Harold and Claude. Claude is up to Indianola. He's still up there.
Yeah.
He come back from Arizona 28th of March. He's up there now.
Yeah, you went when you mined, when you coal mined, you coal mined with
I coal mined for 8 years before I quit. We went to Missouri, down that little house where you was born. You know,
yeah,
across the line.
yeah, on the Missouri line.
And I quit the mine. I didn't ever go back in the mine anymore.
Because there wasn't any money in it?
Well, I had too many cattle to feed.
You were too successful a farmer, or what?
Yeah, I kept getting more cattle all the time.
Oh. Did coal mining make you any money?
It started me out.
Well, that was how you were able to buy the farm then in the first place.
Well, no, the government loaned me the money to buy the farm,
Oh, I see.
and the government loaned me money to buy the cattle.
Uh-huh.
And I paid the cattle loan off. Then they loaned me the money to buy the farm down in Missouri. And $800 $78 to fix it up. I was supposed to fix it up till I had to pay for it. And it did.
Huh.
Yay!
Well, the farm cost, what was it, $30,000 is what you bought it for?
Oh, 7,000.
7,000.
Yeah. 237 acres.
Yeah, that was just the Missouri part.
Yeah.
And that farm was owned by by Mom's dad.
Grandma's Terry. Esther's dad's dad.
Uh-huh.
But, he died. She owned it. She was supposed to own it.
And then later on you got bigger by buying the Iowa part of the farm from...
Then bought that for the house up in Iowa.
Yeah, from... I can't remember his name.
About that 65 acres of
Yeah. Oh, Tommy. You, stop here. You meet Mom. Or when did you meet Mom?
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Don't remember?
Yeah. I was going to X-Line and
You were going to X-Line school, you mean? Or no, you...
getting a date for another guy one night, and they stopped and got her, and I liked the looks of her. I went back and got her. Next night, and she went. And that's how I met her.
Well, that was when she lived down in.
She lived down there to Granddad's. You know where she lived.
At Granddad's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up on that hill.
Yeah. Grandma Terry was living out on the farm that I grew up on then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all.
About all. What?
Go on.
Well, you, how long did you date anyway?
I don't know. I suppose we started in the fall and got married in the spring.
Didn't take very long to get married then.
Fantastic. Did you read the battery into the cord?
Married the 1st of May, I guess.
Not it.
6th of May. You don't even know what your anniversary is.
I planted corn all day and finished planting corn and we went and got married that night in Unionville, Missouri.
Did you have a honeymoon?
Yeah. I started a coal mine a few days afterwards.
That
We dug a big shaft as big as this house. Went down 26 feet and curbed it up and all every other thing, and we struck so much water we had to pump water all day for 2 o'clock in the afternoon before we could start digging. And we finally stopped and abandoned it.
it was a lost cause because of the water, you mean?
Yeah, and went back and start opening this slope up. We just wasted all that time. Lumber, we put 2-inch planks in for cribbing
It's alone.
and made 2 cages down.
Alone. No. Leave this alone and leave.
Things wasn't high like that. We bought that lumber for $3 a 100 feet, I think. And spent $200 and spent it all, and then went and borrowed 200 more.
Borrowed it from your dad or from the bank?
From Grandpa Boyer.
Oh. What'd he think of the whole thing? He must have thought it was a good idea, or he wouldn't have lent you the money.
He was getting a royalty out of the coal,
Oh.
10 cents a ton.
So you did haul some coal out of it.
Oh, yeah, we worked. Then when I took it over, I leased it to a guy, and he had about 20 men in it that year. And I got 15 cents a ton for my part. Grandpa got 10 cents a ton.
I don't understand how he could have ever got his $400 back if at 10 cents a ton.
He didn't ever get his $200 back.
Oh. 10 cents a ton doesn't seem like it's that much.
I sold the ponies and the steel and everything about it, and give him the money, the part, but I was still in $200 in the hole. And Mother handed me the note before she died. I never did. That's all I got out of my part.
wasn't too bad of a deal to have other people mining for you then when you were making 15 cents a ton and they were doing all the work, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Then I suppose coal mining petered out because people.
Well, we sold the coal for $2 a ton. Yeah. So that they didn't make. We give them $1.25 for digging. They didn't make too much money either.
How much could you dig in a day?
Well, that's on how much they worked. They didn't put any coal out, well, they didn't make anything.
Yeah. But if you worked real hard, could you dig a ton a day?
Oh, you dig more than that. A car, about 1,000 pounds, half a ton. Generally got out 5 or 6 cars.
Huh. So that's about 3 tons a day.
Yeah, I got that bought our groceries when we started farming. I was farming Dad's place too. I decided I couldn't be 2 places at once. I just couldn't be there. I was farming at the same time that I put that mine down.
You rented Grandpa's farm, or
Yeah,
you?
Yeah, I furnished. He had 9 cows and I had 9 cows.
Oh.
And then we had some young stuff. When I went to Missouri, he sold it clear out. I took my half down to Missouri.
Oh.
Well, that's about all.
Oh. Okay.
I told you the whole history.
You had what'd you say? You had ulcers the year I was born.
Yeah, I decided that I had to have them cut out. I wasn't going to starve to death. I was eating crackers and milk, and that'll ruin you. Huh? Well, that's just about all. I decided I couldn't live on that.
You did a pretty good job of cooking for you when you had those ulcers.
And no, you starving me to death.
No.
And I went up there and they about killed me, cutting them out. And they took my appendix and I don't know what else. I think they took my gallbladder, but anyhow, they can't find the gallbladder. I'll bet you they took the gallbladder. And anyhow, oh, that's terrible. And come back and sowed oats that spring.
I thought that you told me one time that you almost died from that operation.
You did.
Yeah, but it
Something
just
went wrong, but I don't know what.
I wouldn't know. Drained my stomach out in the tank all the time.
Drained it out in the tank.
Yeah, I couldn't drink nothing or nothing. Mouth all dried out and practically blistered. And, but anyhow, the 1st of March, I went up there the 20th of March, February, and come back the last of March, and I sowed oats in the spring, for the 1st of April.
So it only took you a month?
Yeah. So those the 1st of April. And
Larry took care of the farm. He's only 12 years old. But Benny
I bought that baler that year in June.
The case round baler.
Yeah. And I had all my hay baled, and the 16th of June when you was born, I had all the first crop of hay put up.
That was pretty fast.
And that was 53 when you was born.
That having another baby must have worried you a lot, huh?
Yeah, that's what probably made me have ulcers.
Yeah.
Oh, you had them before.
Yeah, I broke out in 51 with ulcers. Boy, I tell you, had a blood clot. I could have died. Good Lord, wanted me to stay alive, I guess. That's about all. You remember it from then on.
Well, I'm not sure I remember everything. I kind of vaguely remember after that's when I was about 3 years old is when we bought the Iowa part of the farm.
It's 57. 57. We moved up the hill. February the 20th.
How come you bought that part of the farm anyway? Was that better land up there?
The house up there.
Better house?
Well, yeah.
Getting you to high school in Centerville.
Still a good house.
But Larry went to high school in Centerville even though we were living in Missouri.
They was getting so they wouldn't let him do that.
Oh.
Yeah. They complained about it, but they couldn't do nothing about it. The law was you send your kids any place you wanted to.
Even if you lived in Missouri, you could send your kids to school in Iowa.
They had to pay for it down there.
Bus fare anymore, though.
They
They don't have to pay for the bus.
They had to pay the township had to pay the tuition into Iowa.
Oh, I get it. What was wrong with going to school in Missouri?
Well, Larry didn't want to walk clear over the shirt. He'd have had to walk clear over to the other road to get the bus in the morning.
Oh.
He didn't want to go to Missouri anyhow.
Terry, he didn't tell you that Larry, when he was just 12, 13 years old, going to high school, and he stayed there on the farm with a hired hand that didn't know anything, took care of the cattle and when he had that surgery, took care of the cattle and got up and
When he had the
went to
ulcer
school.
surgery.
Yeah.
When he had the
Oh,
ulcer surgery.
Teeny Hines.
Deanna went up and stayed with Grandpa and Grandma, Granddad and Grandma Terry.
Oh.
Where'd you stay?
I was in Iowa City.
What you doing up to Iowa City? Holding my hand?
Yeah, right.
Hey, I don't know.
Well-
Did the calf live?
Yeah.
It woke him up, I think. The calf ought to have been awake before the time he hit the ground.
Hi, Squirt.
Do you even remember that?
No, heavens, no.
Boy, I do.
Well, anyhow, they come across that there. Mom was leading the horse, and Benny was holding the saddle.
Come over here and see
You
me.
taping that?
Yeah, I wanted to hear the story again. You got to start from the beginning.
Come here, Bob.
I was done talking. I didn't know you were taping it.
You ain't gonna tell that story no more.
So this calf was born out in the back pasture or something.
Yeah, over across the creek.
It wasn't very. I
He
suppose
sent
it's
Larry
old.
and told him, showed Benny how to load that calf on the saddle. So Larry was trying to tell him how to load the calf on the saddle, and he wasn't really big enough to lift it up there himself, and Benny get it up and get it too far, and then it just drop off.
I
on the
told
other
him
side.
I'd put the calf across there and swing up behind the calf and hold the calf.
Yeah, I remember that's how you used to do it. You used to bring calves in all the
Well,
time that way.
you take Benny Himes didn't know nothing. Only what Larry
Whatever
did.
happened to him?
He couldn't do that.
Benny was a little slow, I take it.
Yeah, Benny was.
Whatever happened to him anyway?
Last I knew, he was up here in
He
Iowa,
up there
at the
and
round on the other side of.
he got to drinking. He got to
up in-
running with
what
a
is the name of that place?
bad boy, and he got to drinking, and his wife left him, and he died as a drunk.
Oh, did he?
That's what that youngest boy, you know, they had a kid born about that time.
I never knew whatever happened to him.
Well, he stopped at Charlie's down there, and this boy, when he growed up, and told him about his dad.
Anyhow, when Larry and I were counting cattle when the water was running in the creek and we was having to wade water, I told him that when I made my first million, I'd give him half of it, and I've not been able to give him half of it yet.
Well, you probably made $1 million by now, haven't you?
Oh, I'm sure I have.
Huh?
Didn't keep any of it.
Well, some of it's cost.
We take in close to that every year
I don't know
now.
what that was. That was in the drop.